Let's go and hear from security analyst Professor Kwesi Enin, who is calling for the minister to resign or be sacked.
It's unacceptable. It's premeditated. And in her own words, when she heard instances of supposed violence, she stated clearly, Onyema Sema, that is not my business. So, to get reports from individuals, to leave her house and arm herself, supposedly with a registered weapon, probably she's been taught how to fire in a crowded area, and to behave in that manner is putting life at risk. The dismissiveness about the gun type, and then her statement about the licensing raises a lot of concerns. And I think both Mr. Nimako and my colleague, Mr. Friankra, have made their positions clear. But you see, politics is about serving the people of this country and creating an enabling environment in which development, stability, and peace allows us to perform. So it's up to the Inspector General of Police to handle this case.
Let's go to Zoom now. We are joined by security analyst Colonel Retired Festus Abuaje. He joins us. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on NewsDesk. You spoke to my colleague Daniel Dazi on Prime Morning, and you are not just calling for resignation or dismissal. You actually want her arrested. Here's the MP who says, I felt threatened, and so I had to fire this shots just to ward off any potential attack. Should this warrant any arrest?
Thanks for having me once again. The reason why I made that call is that I looked at the whole context of what she herself admitted to have done. This story, according to her, started unfolding on last Thursday at the latest, when she was first informed by a certain woman about this illegal, registration attempts. So between Thursday last week and yesterday at dawn, when she was told that that activity had started, she had had time enough to think about what her approach should be. Now, what I expect of a minister of state, a member of parliament, a lawmaker, was to have put all of that information together and address the information to the appropriate quarter. The appropriate quarter, in one instance, would be the EC. In the second instance, either or, would be the police. The idea that, in her own words, she gathered her men, i.e. she mobilized her men, and we've heard the names. I don't want to go into the names.
Well, the names
but
are already
this idea
public.
that some of us have been... Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. The names are already public. We know of Sule Razak, Majid, Amadou, Suleiman, Yusuf, and Razak Musa, who we are told are in police custody.
Yes. I mean, in a democracy like ours, even if you're going to have some close protection, let's put it that way, they should be drawn from the broad spectrum of, the citizens of this country. Now, they all come from one ethnic extraction, but let's leave that. So she went there, and what did she do? The evidence we have is that some instructions were given, some motorbikes were assembled and destroyed. You don't expect that in that atmosphere, calm is going to be maintained. In fact, the evidence on the surface shows that she was the one who fomented the violence. And therefore, to use that as a defense to say that you needed to protect yourself, to me, doesn't make too much sense. To say. Now, a member of parliament has recourse to the resources of the state. Secondly, should set the example and lead by example, and help to uphold the very law that she participated in passing, which is the Act 999. By the provisions of the Act 999, she qualifies as a political vigilante. If you look at Section 1, application, and you look at Section 3, the activities, as a political office holder, as a member of a political party, using violence to achieve political ends, qualifies squarely as a violation of Act 999. In order not to condone and promote this impunity that we have been promoting, the minister and the member of parliament needs to be dealt with within the provisions or in accordance with the provisions of the law.
And so
if we
far,
don't do
we know that
we're setting a bad precedent.
That is certainly not a good example, but we know that so far 17 people have been injured in this course of the registration. We know that one person has also died. For many Ghanaians and a lot of governance analysts and political watchers, seeing the work that went into the Ayasu West Wagon commission setup, which was led by Emil Schott, this is much of a surprise. Are you equally surprised?
No, it's not much of a surprise. Now, I use the word context. So if you use Ayawasu West Wagon as a backdrop or a timeline, this registration exercise is the first of its kind, or maybe the second, to test the application of this law. You see? Yeah. So in this very exercise, by my calculation, there have been 3 serious attempts in which firearms have been used and all fatalities have occurred. And this is the number 3. There was a Kutubabi one drive-by shooting. There is a Banda one, and there is this one. There were other serious ones which were altercations, an exchange of blows and so on and so forth. So if we don't deal with that, then we're going to have problems. Now, let's look at some elements of her statement and what the police has also said. She says that she fired the weapon. She has claimed that the weapon is licensed to her to protect herself as a member of parliament. Now, I've heard other people who are well informed in terms of the legal framework, asking whether there is any law in this land that allows MPs to arrogate to themselves that special right of protection. The protection that is required for all citizens of this state, not only the MP. Secondly, she fired, but the police say they've arrested 3 or 4 persons and also retrieved a weapon that was fired. Now, there was one warning shot fired. So whose weapon are we talking about? Are we talking about 2 separate incidents of warning shots? Or are we talking about one incident? Is the MP trying to cover for her men?
We'll be getting to the police
because she knows that she is powerful.
Understand this.
Yes.
Kenel, we're just running out of time on this. I just want to, if you can give me a straight answer to this. Which of these would you expect? A sack by the president or that she resigns?
Either or. If she has good conscience, if she wants to lead by example, she can resign. If she doesn't, because her actions and her behavior have been an embarrassment to the head of state and the government that he leads, and undermined national security and heightened national security or insecurity unnecessarily, I think the head of state can dispense with her services.
Thank you very much for your time. That's Colonel Retired Festus Abuaje, a security analyst, joining us with his thoughts on the incident that happened at the Peace Town in Kaswa in the Wutu Senya East constituency, where we had the minister and incumbent MP Hawa Koomson firing some gunshots there. The police is investigating the matter. At midday, we'll bring you more on this because there have been a number of reactions to this here on Joy News. My name is Ernest. Many thanks for your company. We'll also bring you business. Sandra will tell us the details of the headline story we brought to you. You can find more stories when you log on to myjournline.com. Stay with us.